What if I told you that Rust wasn't a stressful game, especially not for a solo? Would you think I was insane? What if I told you that pain wasn't real and loss was simply in your head? Would you believe me? Well, it's true. As long as you stay asleep, the dream will last forever. Through the eyes of a solo, nothing is black and white. Everything is orange. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. And don't worry, you won't be lost in this series finale. But if you want, feel free to check out the entire journey, because this one I'll never forget. Now, let's continue the story. As I waited for morning, I did some organization and maintained my furnace. I prefer to handle these things while it's dark. My small desert corner of the map was fairly peaceful. It was far away from most people, and I felt free here. My interactions were low, and my few neighbors either kept to themselves or ventured deeper into the map to raid. There were only a few monuments near me, and so I took advantage of what I had. And when the morning came, I took some of my cooked meat and fed my horse. Then, the two of us went to the abandoned military base. I slowly began to realize that this monument didn't have much. But in the middle of killing scientists, I peeked over to my horse to make sure he was still there. Then I continued. That was a decent run, but it wasn't quite enough for me, so I went ahead and added more ore and wood to my furnace. I grabbed my SAR and I made my way to the tunnel at Harbor. If I'm in need for scrap, I'll usually go underground quite a bit, but this was the last one for the wipe, and I made it quick. I quickly researched what I could with the scrap I collected from that run, just in case a raid was coming soon. I collected my sulfur ore and began smelting before I had to spawn back at Outpost and get my outfit and gun. When I returned, my horse was waiting patiently for me. There was so much more in store, and I was eager to get there. Luckily, as a solo, I've got all the time in the world. I knew things would be getting intense from now on, so I went ahead and set up some lockers with some loadouts. Now that I had some loadouts ready, it was time to get to work. So I took a blue card and I headed over to the missile silo. As a solo, outnumbered by the endless groups, it's not difficult to find yourself feeling low, so low. But our breed of dreamers, we don't give in. We fight and we fight until we're no more, because that's our only option.
so. When I say so.
Finally, I made it to the core. I grabbed the red card and I made my exit as quickly as possible. The longer I stayed down here, the higher the chances that I'd be countered. That missile silo run completely changed the game for me. I collected so much loot and I got away with 2 supply drops. If you're a solo out there and you're worried about dropping a supply signal near your base, then try this strategy next time you get one. And just like that, I made it home safely with all the loot. And this loot was actually good. It was time to keep expanding. I wanted a third floor with a view. As most of you already know, I'm a big fan of improv building. And as you'll see, I do just that. I spent the day building out the third floor, and as the sun set, I watched it through my new window. Exactly what I needed after a long day of work. I grabbed a horse and I did a bit of roaming. I quickly noticed a horse next to a base of a group that lived nearby. They were fairly active. Most of the raids in the area came from them. So I decided to check it out. I decided to run on foot and see if I could find another horse. I wanted a companion for my current horse, and I found one. As a solo who's been through many raids, I needed to spread out my weapons, so I set down some more lockers and packed them up. At this point in the wipe, I was feeling very comfortable. I no longer had any worries. Even if I was to get raided now, it wouldn't matter. I felt accomplished. But if the rest gods would allow it, I wanted to do more. So I took my new horse and I made a recycle run. Little did I know that this was no ordinary run. I knew that most likely he would hide underground, so I took a moment and buried my valuables. Then, I went hunting. I immediately felt bad for this solo, so I attempted to reach out. But I got no response. While roaming around attempting to come across the player, I noticed a distant airdrop. Sometimes, if you're lucky, everyone in the area assumes the airdrop was called by someone in a compound, so no one goes for it. The airdrop was far, but I figured maybe this was one of those times. In the darkness of the night, I took the free loot. As I was quickly trying to leave the area, I heard someone raiding very close by. So instead, I went to go check it out. And that's when I met this guy. I noticed that he kept returning to the scene, and since I couldn't help the last guy, I decided I would help this guy instead.
Hey bro, okay, I don't know what you have on you, but I don't know if that's a Yoka. But look, I don't need this stuff, man, so I'm just gonna give it back to you. Do you have a gun? Here,
Nothing at all.
okay,
I have a rock and a torch.
okay. I'm gonna unload this. I'm gonna give you some stuff, right? Just don't kill me, man.
I promise I won't. Thank you, dude.
I'm gonna give you your stuff back here.
Thank you, dude. Have a nice day.
Yeah, you too, man.
Nice.
Yep, see ya, bud.
It felt nice helping that guy, but now it was time to head back to base and build a home for my horses. One of them is no longer with us, but luckily I brought home a replacement. The home was ready. But what's a home without food? Without food, these horses won't survive. Unfortunately, the closest river was across the map, but the trip needed to happen. So I grabbed a horse and I made the long journey. The river and all the food felt like paradise. After feeding my horse, I headed back home. As my horses ate, I went up to the third floor and began cooking food for myself. I was in a really good position right now, and with the red card, I was itching to do launch site. And so I sat there, waiting for the sun to come up, watching my food cook, cozy on my couch. I was ready. With a Tommy in my hand, I grabbed a horse and I left a cloud of dirt behind me as I raced away. I had returned in one piece. As difficult as a monument like launch site is to a solo, I was able to overcome it. And now, there was only one more thing that I wanted to do. I wanted to power up my base. I wanted to no longer live in the dark. I wanted to leave the primitive state of fire and embrace electricity. I wanted to see my base shining from outside in the night. After getting raided at the start of this wipe, rebuilding and getting raided again, I felt hopeless, but determined. The determination finally yielded results. Now, I was loaded. I had scrap, far more than I needed as a solo. I went from the bottom with nothing to my name, all the way to the top with anything I wanted at my fingertips. And just like that, the base was lit, and my heart was full. Thank you for watching. You've been watching an Orange Dream production.